You surprised me. What are you doing not in bed? No, I came to sell some of my medicines and I just stepped out of the street under the shade because it is getting warm. But I expected to be home making you something before you got out. Let's go back because this wound we need to apply again what we applied yesterday. And you promised to tell me about the arrow in your face. Well, not the arrow. I can tell it is an arrow. Stop. Again, just as yesterday, I'm going to apply this to your hand. A little bit of oil. Okay, this, I thought it would add a little something to my headdress. No, it could become a fashion. Stop teasing me. Here. Shh. Good. That quieted you down. I just wanted to show you same oil and balm as before, but now we will put it on your face. And you promised to tell me where you got an arrow wound to the face. Where is my... here. You promised, and meanwhile, I will make up the same thing yesterday from the Avesta that we talked about. I'm talking a little bit different because you make... Stop. Leave me alone. Okay. Let us just some more of this oil on your face. So, okay, fine. I will go first. Why do I dislike Herodotus? Again, there is no evidence he met a Persian, but if he did, the way he talks about Persian women is despicable. Have you seen him talk about or write about a mistress? Oh, you've seen a piece of his work. Yes, well. It is true he has written about, well, I know he's still working on his histories, and perhaps he is not the same, okay, as when certain people knew him. But let's see what you have seen him say. Well, here's the thing. Him being Greek and trying to support while the Greek Empire is itching away at the edges of Persia and trying to cause problems. He... Okay. He is trying to support their right to empirehood. You do not see this? Yes. This is why he must paint Persian men as weak, effeminate, as having too much luxury. He complained once about Persians visiting Macedonia, demanding to have women present at the banquet. So why would women be present at affairs of state is his thought process. And of course, in Persia, we have female generals. We have women working in military. Descendants thousands of years later will find our graves with weapons in them of women. This is not so with the Greek women. And yes, being a woman, this is something I think about. Amestris. We know from our history, right? Being Persian, but having some Jewish blood. You remember Purim, the festival where we dress up and remember the deliverance through the hand of Mordecai and Esther. Yes. Well, and you know how when we write for what? No, I did not say that. I said for example. For example, we write for the name Esther, right? We have the consonants, the hard sounds, the soft sounds in between the hard sounds. They do not get letters. We just know they are there. Like the and the other they do not get words, letters. The letters are st and r, Esther. And of course, Persian documents may also have slightly different. And in Greek, of course, they add is to the end of foreign names. This is why when they talk about Moshe, it is Moses. And they don't have sh. They also do not have sh. Because they don't have sh, it becomes estris. And then they put the an M at the beginning. So the estr becomes mestris. And then now you know, yes, that cruel and evil queen of Ahasuerus. You see how Ahasuerus also becomes Xerxes, because they cannot say and sh, so they go x and s, and then they add es at the end. Xerxes for Ahasuerus. Same thing. This is very typical of Greek letters and how they work. Or Mordecai Matakas, because it's their sounds. Yes? And it's difficult also for them, a name like Esther that does not have, yes. So the M is a bit strange. I don't entirely understand where the M, but it's their understanding of Persian words, which is then from Hebrew words. So not that Persian comes from Hebrew, but you understand. May I put the next, we put the bomb on. Now I need to grind up the same as before. The same as before that we did. Let me just look in my, if you don't mind, next to you, could you move a little bit? Thank you. Just under here, there should be my, from yesterday, so that we can grind it up. Everything smells so fragrant. My ephedra again, my soma, esoma, and again here, grind it up and drink it again today. I imagine you slept very well after drinking it before, yes? And then we also must grind the paste for your face to put on the grass. Yes, the grass whose name begins with M, that's right. Well, now I won't tell you because you forgot. You will have to think about what we did before and try to remember. You need to put some, before I put this on your face a little bit, we must put the water again. Yes, the urine of the gods, as the other Persians like to say. This is not what we say. Let me and pour on your face. Okay. And over here. Yes. And as before, it is pure mountain water. We will have to do this a couple times. It is not one and done. And grinding up our lovely pipericali. I'm saying that wrong. Yes. Let me just put here. So. Pipali and Vilnata grinding up here. And of course, I will not make you drink the mud from the termites' nest. Same. Same. And with this water, make this paste a little better to put on the grass. And have you drink some water from this ski smeared one. So, a mistress. Now, we do know there was the period of Jewish self-defense, under which Esther, or Hadassah being her Hebrew name, and that is the other thing. Of course, Esther comes from her Persian name, and in the Hebrew, because the Hebrew that is being written, well, has been written now, that we talked about. Did we talk about that? Oh, you know, they were writing down the story of Purim. Yes. And when they write it down, they Hebrewize the Persian name. So everyone is messing up the Persian. For Esther or a mistress. Okay, putting this on. We do know there was the period of warfare and self-defense within the kingdom. We know this. But, of course, he makes her far more conniving. He's a horrible woman to horrible people. Yes. But he does this to every Persian woman, demonstrating things that, yes, so who will future people know to believe the right things of the Jew or the right things of the Greek? Who is lying? My question is, the book about Purim, about Esther, all that it does not even contain the name of God. So for religious reasons, it is not useful. It does not prove anything about any God. All that it does is support this holiday that we keep every year, where we give gifts and dress up. Yes. And drink a lot of wine. So, and what does the Greek have to gain by his story? By demonstrating in this rising new empire they want to form that Persian men are not fit to rule and Persian women are monsters. Atossa, all the other Persian women are painted with this nasty brush from things that, how would Herodotus have known? And many things that are strange. There is one woman that he describes positively who came from his island, even though she betrayed the Greeks and served Ahasuerus. Artemisia. She was a sailor and had an army of boats and helped Persia against Greece. Now she is described as having androia. This is the Greek word for bravery, like manliness. Let me adjust this. This is not right. This bandage here. So a woman cannot have bravery inherently in this form of Greek because androia, it's from the man name, from the word for man or male. Yes. So the greatest praise he can give to a woman is that she is unwomanly. Yes. Do we trust him? So I know he'll write many ridiculous things. He is a snake. He is a snake. Okay? Okay. Let me. You are not the only person I have to mix things up for, by the way. You are just my favorite person. For now, because I had not seen you for years. I suppose in the future, if we think about things like the future, I don't know if you think about things like the future, but when I think about the future, I think about, and a little bit of this, I think, how will people in the future know who we are and what we've done? Maybe they will see our Persian records. Maybe they will not. There are words that we use. Words like Pratama, Hashtarpan, Parthamim. I imagine words that will change over time. My mother and father always used to complain about my talking different than them and so on and so forth. Speech changes over time, right? So I suppose they will see that in Esther we use words that are from now. So, I'm very glad to be Persian. We hear the stories of my father used to tell me the stories of old Jerusalem and the might of old Judah. And we all, I think, part of us longs for that to be again. But we also, many of us are very happy in Persia. Now that we have, not happy, but those of us who it wasn't our parents and their parents who were taken into exile or taken as slaves, those of us who maybe are mixed, like you and me, it's complicated. I think our allegiances, I didn't say that. No, my poor father, he would not like to hear me say that, but it's complicated. You know what else he would not like? I had a Persian woman come in, and she insisted that I treat her with bull urine. Yes. And of course, we do not do that as Jews. Nothing that is all defiling material that cannot be put on a person. The Greeks are worse. They will use the feces of animals as medicine. Yes. So she was demanding it and wanted it in addition to something else. There was a good sum of money, so I did it for her. But my father would not have been happy if he had been alive to see that. Of course I still miss him. You didn't know. that he had passed. Bulk. His memory. Memory. Yes. I think you need a little more. I have another oil that we can put on as well. Not just the balm of Gilead, and not just the medicine from the Avesta. Anyway, I'm glad to not live in Greece. If somebody had to conquer, and I'm glad to not live in old Babylon either. Athens just fell, let's see, 8 years ago to Persia. I think so. I don't know. My current politics is not very good. I know a lot about Herodotus, yes, because he is a snake, and I specialize in snakes. Have you heard of the Greek writer Demosthenes? Not Democedes, not the slave doctor that we talked about. Demosthenes, a writer in Athens. He would write how complaining that, oh, women are nurses, women are wool workers, oh, women are grape pickers. This demonstrates the penury of the city, how evil and wicked it is that women work and have ways to be surviving. It is very... Athens is that women cannot own property. In Sparta they can. Athens, everybody thinks, oh, the writers of Athens, we love Athens, blah, blah, blah. But for women, no. In Sparta this year, Siniska, I think her name is Siniska. I have more, I must make here. The sister of one of the Spartan kings. She entered her own chariot team this year into the Olympics. Yes. Now, of course, she herself did not. She controls the chariot team. And she has won. And she will enter again in the next games in 4 years. She's the first female to win the Olympic Games. And of course, like in Persia, they own much of the land in Sparta. But not in Athens. I have heard rumors that Greeks will abandon their female children in places like Athens. I do not know if this is true. I know there are rules that they cannot abandon children who have any kind of disability, any kind of injury from birth. And they are very good at building ramps, other things to make it easy for people who are unable to walk or people with physical permanent ailments. Not an ailment, but you are born without a part of a leg or something like this. These people are supposedly they're not abandoned. But if you look at the census from places in much of Greece, the numbers of men and women is not 1-to-1, which is strange because of course we all know human beings give birth 1-to-1. And of course in Persia it's 1-to-1, equal number of women to men. So either the women just do not count in the census, or something is happening to the female children. I do not know. I have never... You have traveled much more than me. This is true. It is not always... It is complicated being here also. Yes. No, this is something in the Avesta. The Diasnians should select a path for every woman who is on her monthly cycle, away from plants, growing things, and firewood, because she is tainted and she has to be in a place with dry dust. She cannot be near fire, water, plants, cattle, righteous people. Some say her gaze is dangerous or could cause illness at this time, which there are passages in the Torah, in the Jewish tradition, where we ascend a woman. Well, a woman is not ascent in the Torah. In the Torah it only says a woman and man should not be together in their husband-wife way during this time. That is a grave sin, just as for the other persons it is as well. But also for matters of cleanliness, he should not be touching or sitting on things she is touching or sitting on. It is also for matters of ceremonial cleanliness, for going to the temple, for example. But some communities will have places set up, some Jewish communities I have heard, and I have heard places in the Empire of Persia where this is still practiced, but women will go to a place during their time of the month, similar to how the other Persians do it. However, it does not say in the Torah, we do not consider her gaze to be dangerous, or this is a thing that happens. People will judge you as a morally unclean person if you touch someone while on nida. Yes. But it is not this big thing like we have in the Avesta type teachings, where it is you are a disgusting, scary person who must leave because you might cause disease. And of course, so in Torah there is not very much demonology. There is mostly the evil of humanity comes from humanity. Humanity can pursue gods that are evil, and they are essentially demons, but they are all these small gods and so forth. But for Persians, just since you had asked before about the medicine, and you've been away for a while, I think you have missed a great deal. It is believed, yes, this is true, it is believed that demons are involved in a long cycle. If a woman has a long cycle, this is believed normally by the Persians. Although in Yov and Naviim, in the Tanakh, the Jewish Tanakh, there are certainly instances when demons can cause disease. In general, disease is seen as the natural cause of living outside of Hashem's healthy plan, or as someone else living outside his healthy plan and inflicting it on us through some chain of cause and events. Like with a disease after intimacy, for example, it can be given to you by someone else or caused by your own behavior. Or with a wound like this, where someone else could have inflicted on you for their evil nature. Will you tell me now? Yes. Your father did not teach, your mother did not teach you as much about these things as my father did. But that's because I was always to do some kind of medicine, and he wanted me to not forget the things that were from his side. Yes. Well, I wouldn't say so. I only take care of women. Yes. That is the, if, well, normally I make exceptions. I see. Well, this is also the same. We are very clean This is, in fact, there are some who believe that Jews received these ways from Persians, but of course this cannot be, because Jewish people have been in the empire since Babylon, first, and second, because all our Torah writings, they have other, yes. In my father told me about the land of Israel, which is where all the testimonies are for the Torah writings, because of course we only have very few copies here. More are being written because when there was Darius, we were given a more favorable position because of Daniel. Yes. But so many manuscripts from before have been lost. But we know that it was not written down only during the time of Daniel before us, because we have the writings that are in Israel, like the stone, the stele or stele of David. It is this large rock. Maybe you have seen it in your travels. Yes. And it has the writing which matches with David. And by the Yardan, we have the stones on which is written Yehoshua's promise as they are coming over from wandering in the wilderness after escaping from Egypt. A little more. This is dried now, so a little bit more here. A little more here. Well, and there are necklaces that I'm sure in the future they will have better ways to date and tell that things are old. Now we can only tell by the kind of writing, but they have necklace with the Aaronic section that will demonstrate it matches the time of the Torah. So we know where we come from, but we always almost lose our heritage. I wonder how my father never explained. Well, he explained my mother by saying that she would have been in Israel a ger toshav, like a convert, but somebody who joins to Israel. And he said that the people leaving Mizraim, Egypt, they had many who were not Jewish with them, who had joined themselves to the people. And if you were joined all the way, and the men who received circumcision and so forth, then you could eat Pesach as well, and you would be with God's people. Yes. It is coming off a bit. You have been paying too much attention to my hair. It is comfortable like this is all. It is not your business. Yes, I look a little different from yesterday, a little more messy. I did not sleep well. I hope you did. I just have so many questions, and so it's now your turn to talk. And tell me, how did this happen? And why so long for you to get treatment? It's been festering. We could mar your lovely face. That would be still more for me. You've actually seen bits of what Herodotus is writing. Let me see what this snake has said. Let me see. The citizen who has leprosy or the white sickness may not come into a town or consort with other persons. They say that he is so afflicted because he has sinned in some wise against the sun. Many drive every stranger who takes such disease out of the country, and so they do to white doves for the reason aforesaid. Rivers they chiefly reverence, this is true. They will neither make water nor spit nor wash their hands therein, nor suffer anyone else to do so, because that will make the water dirty. we have similar rules. Now in the Torah, the rules about cleanliness are all the nasty matter that comes from humans must go outside the camp, outside the city. And in Persia it is similar. It must be very clean. They will draw their water and then wash with those. They will not use running water, but they do it because they are praying to the running water. So different in this way. The dead bodies of persons are not buried before they have been mangled by bird or dog. That this is the way of the Magi, I know for certainty, for they do not conceal the practice. But this is certain, that before the persons bury the body in earth, they embalm it in wax. These Magi are much unlike the priests of Egypt. As to all other men, for the priests counted a sacrilege to kill what lives, save what they sacrifice. But the Magians kill with their own hands every creature, save only dogs and men. They kill all alike, ants and snakes, creeping and flying things, and take much pride therein. What a strange way to describe the Magi. This is not universal of Persian Magi. Persian Magi have many different schools, many different ways of thought. So, yes, the way this is also different in that for us, for the Jewish side, cleaning, and even here in the diaspora, in Persia and away from places like Israel, fire is cleaning. So we would burn offal and guts of animals in it to get rid of them, keep clean. But not here and not in front of a person, because that will make them angry. Yes, as we say, of the 613 commandments, 213 are medical, to prevent epidemics and so forth. And the day of rest, the Sabbath, this is Shabbat. This is good for health. In much Persian thought, illness is judgment. But if you read Iyov, in that his friends were wrong to tell him that he was sick because he had sinned. It was not because he had sinned. Okay. It was because Satan was trying to prove to Hashem, to God, that Iyov was not worth it, and that Iyov only obeyed or loved God because things went well for him. But if things went not well, he would become evil. And he did not. He became very discouraged and depressed, but not evil. So sometimes we are sick, not because we are evil, but because we are good. I have heard the joke, do not be too good or too bad, and then you will not be sick. But this is a boring way to live. No, I disagree with you. This is not similar. The blood sprinkling in the old temple, my father told me, was for a sacrifice for sin, not for health. like the Oedipus Colonius or Euripides or the Iliad or Zoroastrian Catholic. We do not sprinkle bodily fluids on people for health. We who are half Jewish. This is why my father would have been disappointed. But, you know, this is true. Yes, I have not washed my hair yet today either. I have done badly today. But I wanted to go and finish some work before you woke up, because I wanted to buy you something. It's been years and I didn't know why you left, and nobody told me. So, this is why. Yes. But we do what we must because we can, for the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But nothing. Well, you've heard that. No, so medicine, this you would not know because you are not a doctor, but there are sections of medicine in Persian medicine. Asha is cleaning by hygiene, curing by hygiene, prevention. The gods, oh yes, well, the Greeks worship a god of hygiene. They just have a different understanding of it than we do. I have heard there are Greek homes that have a place you can do your business and it flushes and goes out. This is wonderful. It flushes out of the home. Persians would not accept this because it uses one running water, which would defile the element of running water, which they worship. However, only in Crete and in the island, not through all of Greece, do they have pipes to take this nasty stuff out of the city. It is dependent on which family, if they want to take out of the city. So you could have, you will have in the streets until the drains are cleaned by the families. Unless you are in Crete and then you have pipes. So this is not good. This would be displeasing to Hashem because it says in the Torah you cannot have your feces where people walk. Yes. So it's very hit and miss with the Greeks. But of course here in Persia or in a Jewish setting, everything nasty must go out. So I do think that it may be true that the Greeks are a little more individualistic, if that is a word. And we more have community, family, Persians and Jews. So there are things that are more in common. And responsibility is more of the community. But this is a generalization and not necessarily true. Because everybody is different. What I say about one Greek could be not true of the other. I will not be like Herodotus and put a broad on all of them, like he does the Persian women that he hates. There is a history being written by somebody named Ctesias, and we will see also about Persian. We'll see if he hates Persian women or not. Do you ever think of how much history is lost? Like the soma plant, the soma, that I gave you today. Oh, you haven't drunk it yet today. I only put on your face. Here. Oh. My best. Here. Drink. No, I will look over here for something I not drink the ghee butter horn water. Let me make sure here. Okay, here for you to drink. Excellent. So, this asoma, did you like it last night? Yes. I gave you a small amount for vitality, not this large amount to make you see gods and things. This is not how we do. But there is no prohibition in the Torah from taking substances. You can take wine, for example, any substance God has made, but you are not to let something control your mind. This can lead to foolishness. Yes. So, but thinking about history, like Esoma, if I've been thinking, because things do change over time, like many of the ways that my father talked about that we almost do not do anymore, So, my question then becomes, is it alright if I put a little more of this? One cannot have too much of certain things. Okay. But there are things that are lost. Yes. There are things that we... So, what, for example, if this plant is gone, or if this plant is, but they do not remember what it is when we write it down, because we did not write mentally. Or what if Persian doctors are driven into the Sindhu Valley and there are different plants there. They must use something else for someone. My what ifs are not as silly. You stop. Stop. No, you will not pay me for medical treatment. So, we talked about this already. Yes, I know in the Torah, in the Torah, the person who did this to you, that person should be paying. Yes, this person thought as well. The Avesta clearly insists physicians must be competent and set appointment fees in accordance with people's income, which I think is good. I like this. This is not in the Torah. This is something that I do. Other specialties, well, we have Asha, we have Kanun, which is law, card, knife, Gya, plants, and divine words, mantra. Speaking of knife, there's a new technique being tried here to deliver a baby through the stomach when a labor is long and baby is stuck and mother might die. This new sounds fantastic to me. But if history changes over time and people don't know, what if someone like the Greeks wipes out what we have learned? And will we even get credit for something like that? Or will someone have to rediscover it? I suppose only history said that. You are the worst, making fun of me. I have talked and talked and talked. I am like a babbling brook here. I am like one of my neighbor's annoying chickens that will not stop. Who is it who should be paying for your treatment? Now it is your turn to please tell me. If you cannot say it, then write it down below, right here. Tell me. Here, you can write it right down below. Give me a good description, give me a good comment, explain to me how it is you got this arrow wound in your face. You owe me this. Nothing to be ashamed of. What do you mean? Okay. Do you trust me? Well, I am almost done mixing this up. I suppose we will just have to see if I am worthy of your trust then. This is unfortunate. You used to trust me years ago. Well then, neither will I tell you how I met the snake. You shall have to go and rest again. You have clearly also have a long journey, and you must also be quite tired. Yes. It has been a long journey for everyone, I think, who has come into the city this last week. I find that travelers look more tired than they normally do when I see them here. But I don't know. I hope that now a little